Hi, this is Derek with another movie review for HorrorNerds.com. And today I'm going to be reviewing Storage 24. It is a 2012 horror film, I believe released in the UK around June. Only yesterday, in fact, I believe it hit stores in America. And it was directed by Johannes Roberts, who I believe has done the Doghouse, maybe, somewhere there, and then also was written by Noel, Clarke, who also stars in the movie as the principal. He's also done a few other things. Nothing really of too much report to even really concern yourself with. I think the best thing he might have been part of was Doghouse. Actually, he was the one that did Doghouse. I believe Johannes Roberts. He did Sanitarium. That's right. Anyways, not that I should even bring either of those films up, because both of them, in my opinion, were highly underperformed and underproduced and underacted and under everything. But this film, did have a bit of a promise. When I had saw the trailer a long time ago, I was really excited, especially because, even though the cast, a bunch of no names here in America, did have Ned Dennehy, who's done, a few different movies here and there, like, Robin Hood, the Russell Crowe version, as well as Reign of Fire and a few other movies. He pops up everywhere, and, adds a little bit of comic relief and things. And in this movie, he definitely does add a little bit of it, when he sort of sacrifices himself, for the good of the characters in the film. But the problem with this film, and the reason why I have an issue with it, isn't because it was even on the B film quality. It was just because it ignored the basics of making a film. What am I talking about? Well, first of all, you don't need a close-up every 32 seconds in order to make a film. I mean, if you are trying to skim back on budget, then maybe you shouldn't make a movie that is going to involve a pretty hefty alien running around in a factory trying to kill people. The people in Aliens, went all out, both with Aliens and with the original Alien, heck, with all of them. Even Prometheus, as much of a mistake and disappointment as that film was, still had jaw-dropping visual effects. So if you're gonna make a movie that deals with a horrific, grotesque killing alien that's mad and just wants to murder everyone, you gotta kind of put up something, I think, in terms of creativity with your props and stuff. I mean, if you can't afford the digital and you can't go the old, puppet way, a guy walking around on stilts and then just doing close-ups of the aliens, poorly made face that is definitely a ripoff of the Predator, it's not going to cut it, not in this day and age. I mean, you should almost be ashamed of yourself to even put that out there. So that's my biggest problem. The second problem is that the characters just all sucked. Noel Clarke wrote this film as well as starred in it. You would think he would have known better. When characters just stand around, they don't like each other, they constantly rip on each other, it's hard to have a bit of empathy for them, and, the idea, the premise of this, this idea of a plane crash, in London, all of its contents of stuff everywhere, city's in a total lockdown, these people are stuck in this warehouse, it was a cool premise. I mean, definitely an homage to Aliens, stuck in a claustrophobic setting, trying to escape from being murdered, by extraterrestrials, but this film tends to focus more on the dynamics between the characters. And, if you're going to write a film that's going to focus on, human relationships, nothing rings less true than that on a screen, because very few people know how to write dialogue that sounds and feels real. If anything, it becomes antiquated to the time it was written in, and then you're just stuck with a bad film because it just gets dated and not watched and, just sort of put in the B movie bin. And, do you really want to make a film like that when you put so many hundreds of thousands of dollars, or heck, even a few $1,000s into a film? No. And these characters, they all just sucked. The one girl, she barely even had an expression on her face when she was face to face with the alien. It was like, oh, you're an alien, great. I've seen you in a movie before. I mean, and that's sort of how I felt. Is I've already seen this done 10 times worse, 10 times better, and this didn't really contribute anything to my horror movie vocabulary. So it's a terrible film. I would never go see it in the theaters thing, and I wouldn't even rent it on DVD. But nevertheless, you watch, you learn. This is a film that could have been something. It could have been way better, in my opinion. It just didn't go there, and as sadly as joining the ranks of many horror movies in this past couple years that have that same terrible byline next to their description and title. So, anyways, that's been my depressing review for HorrorNerds.com. Hopefully you enjoyed it and check it out. Thanks.